This is where it's a little weird to have committed to reviewing every movie that I see at the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema with my Alamo season pass. Well, this is a Drafthouse Diary for Saturday, February 11th, 2023. And I went to a brunch screening at the Sloan's Lake Alamo Drafthouse to see It Happened One Night, the Frank Capra movie from 1934. And does anybody really need me to review It Happened One Night and let you know about it? But then I realized, well, it's almost 90 years old. Maybe you do. So just in case, I will tell you that It Happened One Night is a terrific movie and well worth seeing. It's one of Frank Capra's early movies. It's the first movie to win 5 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, and it earned every one of those. It's also one of the earliest screwball comedies, something that just took off and became so popular in the 1930s, especially. It's hard to say why it's such a good movie, except to say that you've got beautiful and charming movie stars. You've got Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert surrounded by a really good supporting cast, and not just good actors in those supporting roles, but supporting characters who can surprise you, who change, who add to the twists and turns of the story. But basically, it's the story of Gable's character and Colbert's character. Claudette Colbert is a young heiress to a wealthy family, and she fell in love with some possibly ne'er-do-well, handsome aviator and has eloped with him. But her father insists that they will never spend a night together because he knows that this man is only after her money. But she escapes from her father's yacht and tries to make her way to New York to meet her beloved. But she has practically nothing, a little bit of money. She manages to buy a bus ticket from Miami to New York. And on the way, she meets a reporter who's kind of down on his luck and needs a big story. And he recognizes who she is. Of course, there are detectives and all points bulletins and all kinds of efforts to find her after she escaped from her father. And as you can imagine, the story is of the two of them and their challenges and hijinks as they try to make their way to New York. And of course, over the course of this, it's a movie with Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. Of course, they wind up falling in love. But it's about watching that happen. And more important, it's about watching these characters interact. It's about the very snappy dialogue, the very crisp direction that Frank Capra always gives. And it's just fun to see that develop. It's also worth noting this is a very late pre-code movie. It snuck in early 1934, just before the real enforcement of the production code, sometimes called the Hays Code, really got underway, which limited what could be shown in movies in terms of sexual innuendo, in terms of how the law was regarded, lots and lots of restrictions on what could be in movies, starting later in 1934 and going on for decades. This is a movie that it's funny, it's witty, it's sexy. It has dialogue and things that I don't think they would have gotten away with a few months later under the production code. It's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch these characters. It's fun to listen to this dialogue. It's fun to watch the story unfold, even if you're not in a great amount of doubt as to how it's going to unfold. And if you haven't seen the movie, it has some surprises for you. Well, I won't say anything else about that. What else can I say? It's a classic movie for a good reason and well worth watching. Other parts of my visit to the Sloan's Lake Alamo. This was a brunch screening, so I had the breakfast tacos. I believe I had the bacon. The breakfast tacos are good. It's not a very large portion, though. The tacos are tiny. They're rolled up in little foil cylinders. I'm not really sure why, except to make it easier to serve and keep them warm. The breakfast tacos and a few chips that you get with them, it's not much of a meal, but they taste good. My darling wife, who was with me, she had a chicken sandwich with Asian slaw. She had swapped the bread that was on. It's supposed to come with the seeded bun that so many of the Alamo sandwiches are on. Instead, she got it on their ciabatta roll, which wasn't much of a ciabatta roll. There wasn't as much substance to it as real ciabatta has. But she says it was a better a better bread for this sandwich than the very soft bun that they usually use, just because the aioli and the slaw, that sort of breaks down that bun too quickly. And her tip is, when she gets that and that sandwich comes with fries, she adds, and she instead of ketchup, she asks for a little cup of the sriracha aioli that comes on the sandwich, and that's great for dipping fries. The rest of the visit, it was a pretty crowded screening, which is good to see. I like when these classic movies come to the Alamo and lots of people have interest in them. But the servers were all very efficient. I thought it worked very well. A few things might have been delayed. I think I might have had to ask a second time for the coffee that I ordered, but it all worked out fine. So it was a good visit. It was a little bit of a drive early on a Saturday morning, but it was worthwhile. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for other of these repertory screenings of classic movies at the Alamo. And when they do come, I will be sure to review them here. So thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it. In the meantime, enjoy your movies, and when you do, stay till the end of the credits.